Or are you looking to move out of your current home and find the home to start the next chapter of your life? Look no further. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty is your go-to guy to help you with all your needs. Specializing in West Orange County, Lake County, and Ocoee, his goal is to take care of you from the beginning to the end and is not satisfied until the job is complete. Stop by 401 West Colonial Drive, Suite 7, or give him a call, 321-945-6832. Jim Fouquet with Century 21 Rue Realty.
We are back on the morning tip off of Spreaker. 407-378-3717 is the number to check in. We are now getting into Monday's games. We talked about the games on Sunday, and let's look forward to this week. 6 games let's scheduled tonight, capped off by the game that's the best matchup on paper by team-wise. Oklahoma City takes on the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, a week ago, this game was completely different than it was tonight. Remember, Oklahoma City had Kevin Durant before he got hurt in Washington with the hamstring injury. And then you have Memphis, who was one of the most disappointing teams in the NBA with offensive explosion last night. And going into this game now, the question is, can Memphis, and basically coming off a back-to-back, for OKC, keep, Russell Westbrook from going crazy? Westbrook struggled last night, and really, if you struggle in the NBA, it's going to be problems. But at the same time, if Westbrook can become Westbrook and get guys like Cantor, Waiters, Ibaka, who had a good game last night, but those guys can contribute. I think if those guys can give the Thunder 45 to 50 points and Westbrook has a Westbrook game, I don't think Memphis can win this game tonight. Now, Memphis' main key is wearing down the front line for the Thunder, using Zebo, using Gasol, using Brandon Wright, using the size, the strength advantage they're going to have over the Thunder to make the game slower. And also, most importantly, the Grizzlies have to hit shots. Hopefully, they didn't leave all their shots in Minnesota yesterday. But if Conley, Jeff Green, Courtney Lee are hitting shots, hey, Memphis can win this game. And also, the key is this night for Memphis, Mario Chalmers. Chalmers was impressive yesterday with the 16 points in 18 minutes yesterday. But if Chalmers is hitting and they get some more scoring help from Green, Connolly, find Courtney's shot, hey, they're taking this night. But for me, Westbrook, angry. I like it. I think Westbrook goes for 35 at least. I'm going to say 35, 9, and 8. And the Thunder win, even without Kevin Durant, on the road in Memphis. Also, Dallas taking on the Sixers. The question is, who will be number one? Well, I don't mean number one, not the first overall pick. Who is going to be the first victim of the Sixers? Tonight, it won't be Dallas. Dallas is playing very good basketball. They beat Houston over the weekend, and really, they're starting their stride. Wesley Matthews is starting to get a little more and more healthy. Chandler Parsons is still not healthy, but Dwight Powell, Zaza Pachulia, Dirk is shooting the ball very well, and they're getting contributions from Raymond Felton, J.J. Barea. Darren Williams is getting used to things, but Carlisle's team should have this team focused, and the Sixers, even though they're getting Tony Roden back and also Robert Covington in the upcoming weeks, the Sixers are still the Sixers. And unless Okafor can start guarding the three-pointer, really, I don't think they're going to lose this game. Win tonight. So I'm taking Dallas double digits in Philly. I like Okafor tonight, but the guy to watch for Philly is T.J. McConnell. He might come close to a triple-double because he seems to be one of those guys, kind of like Michael Carter-Williams was a couple years ago, Isaiah Cannon was last year, Ish Smith, Tim Frazier, guys that put up big numbers for a very, very bad Sixers team. a team for reserves, a team that should be competing in the D League outside of Okafor. But I like the Mavs double digits. Dirk and those guys should have an early night. Should be no heavy lifting. So for me, I'm avoiding any Mavs in daily fantasy today, except for Dwight Howell. Dwight Powell. Powell should play some solid minutes. About 24, 25. I think he might go double double on that as well too. So we also have Pacers taking on the Bulls in Chicago. We really look at those two teams. Um, how can I say this? The Bulls and Pacers right now are kind of going in the same direction, but in different ways. What I mean by that is the Pacers are playing great basketball right now. No big men, but Paul George is playing on an MVP level. Pretty much, he's a double double and also a high assist guy, waiting every single night. I think he's around 24 points, around almost 10 rebounds a game, 5 assists, and really, he's been the guy carrying the Pacers. Him and George Hill. Hill, a guy on my list is always much maligned, was a borderline All-Star last year, putting up good, solid numbers. Now, if the Pacers can somehow find Monte Ellis in his struggles, they might have a shot at it. For the Bulls, Joakim Noah is reportedly starting tonight over Mirotic. Now, this is back to where it is. Mirotic is not playing defense, and the Bulls, I think, are a better team with Mirotic coming off the bench anyway. Because really, when you have a guy like Noah, he plays well with Gasol. Gasol can go back to the four, and really, you have Gasol's low post ability. I understand Mirotic stretch out on the defense, but really, the Bulls played their best basketball when Mirotic was coming off the bench and lighting people up off the bench as a very, very solid and strong six-man spot starter here and there. But for the Bulls, the key player tonight is Derrick Rose. Rose, if he has a good game, will do, if he puts up 16, 5, and 5 for the Bulls tonight, I can see the Bulls holding on for a victory. But I'm taking the Pacers tonight in Chicago. I don't trust Rose. I like Monte Ellis to step up and have a big game tonight, step out the cold slump. And also, another guy to watch, C.J. Miles. I think Miles hits 5 3-pointers plus the Pacers win. They're going to go to 7-4. They're 6-4 now. I think they're going to 7-4 with the game in Chicago tonight. Celtics and the Rockets. Interesting matchup. The Rockets are like the Grizzlies, a very, very disappointing team. I don't know. In the start of the season, I had the Rockets up there as one of the elite teams in the West because you add time to already a team that has James Harden, already has Dwight Howard, already has Trezor Ariza, Corey Brewer, re-signed Pat Beverly. Terrence Jones is coming off injury. Manius is coming back very soon. But in the first 10 games, the Rockets have looked very, very flat. James Harden's shots in there, and Ty Lawson looks completely lost. If Lawson isn't doing anything, this isn't helping. I mean, do you put Beverly back in the starting lineup? The Rockets won 50-something games last year with Pat Beverly as the point guard. You're thinking that if you upgrade with Lawson, who is a very good point guard in his own right, that you're going to be better. But Lawson looks lost. The team isn't running. The team isn't scoring. So if all that's not happening, then the Rockets aren't winning. Also, can Dwight Howard bounce back? Howard has had good games, bad games, and they're still working Terrence Jones back. So I like the Celtics tonight. I know it back to back for the Celtics. They beat OKC last night, and I think Marcus Smart. I think that game against Westbrook is going to help his confidence. But David Lee, Amir Johnson, and the bigs will make the difference tonight because you have plenty of fouls on Howard. If Howard goes, Dwight has not been going in double doubles, back to backs as well too. Hasn't been consistent, but they have enough bigs to make this work in Boston. I like the Celtics on the road tonight, so take Boston and feel comfortable. Jay Crowder makes a difference. Crowder leads the NBA in steals. I think comes about 3 to 4 more. Gets the Celtics transition. The Celtics outrun the Rockets tonight. I like the Celtics on the road. Also, you have the Spurs taking on the Blazers in a reverse game from a game last week. Blazers on the second end of a back-to-back after losing in Charlotte yesterday. Ironic for this back-to-back, they're going from Charlotte to San Antonio in consecutive days. And I don't like this for Portland at all. Even though Lillard and McCallum could score, the Spurs have had a couple of days off. Aldridge already had the emotional reunion. I think Aldridge goes to work, and the Spurs are very good at home. They have plenty of time off, and I like Parker to have a big game tonight. Hasn't had one of those, and the guy who snaps down the shooting strong will be Danny Green. Remember, the Spurs are 7-2, and Danny Green has been horrible in pretty much every game. Green snaps out of it. He's a good shooter, a career 40% three-point shooter. He gets his stroke back tonight. I think Green goes for about 17, and the Spurs hold on for a victory. And I think going forward, Green's shot is going to have to start falling more often for the Spurs to take this deep into the finals. It's only been 10 games, so when you look at the Spurs and the fact that they're 7-2 without Danny Green doing much of anything, it's an impressive feat. Also, David West hasn't done much either. So, new faces, new places. The Spurs are the Spurs, and they'll hold on for the victory tonight. I don't think much of a hold on. They'll actually take away from the Blazers. I like Lillard. Lillard will get his, I think 25 to 30 for Lillard, but Tony Parker will get his because Lillard plays no defense. Final game on the agenda, the Fighting Kobe's without Kobe going against the Phoenix Suns. Lakers on a second back-to-back last night, beating the Pistons at home. They already said Kobe Bryant is not playing tonight. I don't think he's even making the trip to Phoenix. The Suns are scoring a lot of points with Bledsoe and Brandon Knight interchanging the point guard. T.J. Warren is starting to find his stroke off the bench as a sixth man. Devin Booker. Hopefully, we can find the AVP on Markieff Morris because obviously Morris is not the same player as his brother. And Tyson Chandler should control the paint against Roy Hibbert. Really, the guy to watch for the Lakers tonight has to be D'Angelo Russell. If Russell has anywhere of a pulse tonight, the Lakers could keep this game close. But I have the Suns at least by 10 points tonight. So, like I said, if you're playing DFS, look for Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight. Stack up on Suns. This game is going to be a track meet. I think the Suns should win this game. So, I'm going to give you some guys to watch in fantasy, and then we'll check up out of here. And we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow for the morning tip-off. Guys to watch, Sixers, Mavericks. Really, I like Dwight Powell for the Mavericks because this game should be a blowout. Okafor will get his for the Sixers. McConnell's another guy to play. But Dwight Powell. Also, look at Raymond Felton if you're trying to go cheap, especially if you're playing Russell Westbrook. Pacers, Bulls. Of course, Paul George is a big number. I also like George Hill tonight for the Pacers. Another guy to keep an eye on, Jordan Hill, because this game can get physical in the paint, and Jordan Hill can rebound. There is no Miles Turner. Jan Mahimi is decent, but Hill should get a lot of minutes. For the Bulls, I like Mirotic if he's off the bench. If Noah's starting, I play Mirotic. Why? Mirotic will have more freedom off the bench shooting the basketball. He can go for 20 off the bench if he is not starting. Rockets, Celtics, look at Avery Bradley, especially if he's off the bench. Also, look at David or Jay Crowder. I like Jay Crowder in this game tonight to fill stat sheets for the Celtics. Corey Brewer is the guy for the Rockets that always somehow does these type of games. 13 points, every guy's coupled in there. I avoid Ty Lawson. I avoid Pat Beverly. James Harden should have a big night, but the price tag's huge. I avoid Dwight Howard as well too. Thunder, Grizzlies. I like Enes Kanter for the Thunder against the Grizzlies. Also, another guy to watch. Look at Dion Waiters for the for the Thunder. Westbrook, of course, Westbrook could be a starter. Should be a starter for most leagues. The high price tag is going to be one thing to watch. Also, for the Grizzlies, look at Jeff Green. I know it's one game, but I think Green might be the guy going forward. Mario Chalmers, another guy to watch for the Grizzlies. If he starts getting minutes, he puts up production. 16 and 4 yesterday, 18 minutes. So solid numbers there. Blazers, Spurs. I'll avoid any Spur but Danny Green tonight. Also, Kawhi Leonard is a good one. Plays well too. I like Danny Green. The price should be low. Hasn't played very well. Should hit some shots for the Blazers. Look at Mason Plumlee for the big man. Because no Miles Leonard for a few weeks. No Vonleh played solid in Charlotte yesterday. I Plumlee to get you close to a level for price tag. Lakers, Suns. I'm looking at Jordan Clarkson for the Lakers. The Suns, I'm taking both their backcourt guys. Knight and Bledsoe should have a huge game. If this game gets to a blowout, it's not going to be pretty fan, but T.J. Warren should